Welcome back to our top 5 game franchises, and this is our number 4s.
Okay, so I had to think long and hard about this one, and it's a game from my childhood. Been playing it since the early '90s or mid '90s. I've gone for Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay, so I have also gone number 4 Pokemon.
Wow. Okay, this is like slowly turning into an episode of Mr. and Mrs.
Okay, right. For exactly what you said, I've been playing it since it came out, and I'm still playing it, and I know you're still playing it because we've done the Dynamax raids together, and with some of our mates. I don't know how this doesn't make our list in any capacity.
It's like a staple of gaming history at this point. Not even just because of obviously because the games are out, but like when you look at like the anime and like all the stuff that's going on right now.
What is it? It's widely known as the most profitable media franchise of all time, isn't it? Like it's made the most money out of anything ever.
And that's the thing. That's how widespread it is. Like over the '90s, like it was just this thing. The trading cards, all like everything's just man.
You want to talk to trading cards? I feel like that's an episode in itself. Pokemon as a gaming franchise.
There's so much to it. Like, that's the thing. You think Pokemon gaming and you think the standard like mainline games. You like your Red and Blues.
Even then, I really enjoy quite a lot of the spin-off games. I know they're quite divisive. Like people don't tend to like a lot of them. I think the only one I haven't played of the Mystery Dungeon series is the last 3DS one. But before that, I played every other one. Like every single one.
Was that Explorers of the Sky? Was it?
No, I think it was Super Mystery Dungeon. That's the last one that came out.
Oh, the 3DS ones.
Yeah. Sorry. The 3DS ones. Yeah, that was the last one that ever came out, and I haven't played that. But besides that, I played all the other ones. I played I don't know if you ever played the Pokemon Ranger games. They're pretty cool.
I played Pokemon Ranger 1, and I got really into it. But I think I got stuck somewhere. I think I was trying to catch an Electrike or something. That's the thing that's sticking in my mind right now. That there was an Electrike, and it was the most like pain in the ass thing to try and catch.
When that game goes well, you're like, yes, feels great. But when it doesn't work, and you're just an idiot staring at this tiny little thing spinning a little plastic pencil right on his touchscreen, going, come on, like drawing circles around a Pokemon, you feel like the biggest idiot ever. Like, it's one of those where you sit there and you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, there's probably a reason why like it never really went past 2. Like they never really saw him come back after that.
It's a shame.
I can understand I can understand why they are like it's a hit and miss one. I can understand why it's a hit and miss.
What was those ones that had the little figurines? You know, the ones that
Pokemon Rumble.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay, I got really into that.
I remember playing that at your house. You're the reason I even ever heard of that. I remember going to your house. You like booted it up, and I was like, "What is this? What is that? I've never seen that before."
That was like the original Wii one as well.
Yeah.
Like that's the first ever Pokemon Rumble. And looking back at it, it is so basic.
It was good. I got hooked straight away after playing it at your house. I think I went home and bought it myself.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a good game, even though it was basic. And it's like, oh, go through this grass world, like beat this giant Pokemon, you win, and then the levels would just repeat itself after that. But even then, you're like, oh, I'm on this next level. What other Pokemon from this grass world are going to appear up?
Yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly, like, there's these Exegutors coming out when there was like Executes before, and then you're like, oh, I need one of them, and you're constantly trying to get that stronger Pokemon.
It's a shame it went free to play. I feel like that's what killed it.
Was there a free to play one though? I swear there was at one point.
It was on the
phone. Yeah, and that's like died now.
Yeah, I actually think they shut it down last year.
Yeah, I just don't think it got the popularity. But they released it on Android before.
It was grindy.
iOS.
It's super grindy. Like, why would you keep playing it? I mean, it's a standard free-to-play game. Every time you do an action, you lose energy, quote unquote, whatever they call it in the game. I only played it, I think, for like 2 days. And then it's the standard, you've done your, I don't know, 10 actions or whatever, and that's just because the first login is like, oh, we gave you 5 extra lives or whatever. And then you're like, so what do I do now? Wait till tomorrow when you've got some more lives and then come back, idiot. Give us your money.
Yeah, it's just like classic freemium like tactic.
Yeah, it literally became like, oh, what's that? You can't get past this level. Why don't you give us some money and we'll give you... You can start right now from where you are, where you died. Or, you know, you can summon better Pokemon because you gave us money for the premium summon. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, talking of those freemium games, I mean, you have Pokemon Go going on right now as well.
I drop in and out of that, for sure.
I mean, like, that's the thing. For me, Pokemon Go at the start is massive. Like, everyone was on that. Summer 2016, everyone was just outside looking at their phones.
You knew it was big when in everyone's life, everyone knew people who were playing that who would never have played Pokemon before. Like, just straight up. I mean, like, I think I had aunties and uncles who had tried it out for a little bit, and I'm like, you didn't care about Pokemon when I was a kid, and now all of a sudden this Pokemon Go thing comes out, and everybody was on it.
Like, I still play it a lot these days, even though I can't really go out the house.
I know they changed it last year, like after I think partway through the first lockdown, at least over here for us. But like in my area, that still made it really hard to play.
Yeah.
Because like I would still have to like walk up the road or whatever to get to the closest stops and gyms. So like I could still catch stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, we're giving you free stuff now, and you can spin one of the stops because you're just close enough. But I was like, it's still not enough to make me play even in quarantine.
Yeah. I think like I go in there now just to see what's about, throw a couple Pokeballs, and then I'll just switch the app off again. Like just to complete like the daily tasks and that, like the field research.
I really like to think you're not catching anything. You just go in, you waste your Pokeballs, you just chuck them, you just throw them, and then you're like, cool,
I
I'm
think
done
currently
now.
like I've stocked up like 160 Pokeballs right now.
Jesus.
Just like they're just there because obviously like I'm going on there, and then I'm like, cool. I've like if I see a new Pokemon, I'll try my best to catch it, but I'll just look at it and be like, I've got all these. I'm just gonna leave them.
I was gonna say it's got to be few and far between now for you, like.
Yeah, but yeah, like even like looking at those side games anyway. Going back to that. Like, there's so many good ones. Like, one of my favorites. Anyway, I don't know if you've played it. Like, or I might have lent it to you at one point. Pokemon Colosseum.
You did lend that to me, and I did get obsessed, but I think I gave it back to you because I was gonna go buy a secondhand copy, and for whatever reason I didn't buy a secondhand copy, and I've to this day only played I think about 2 hours of that game.
Yeah, I think at its time it was amazing because obviously all the Pokemon games are handheld, like they weren't like that advanced graphically, and then you have this like GameCube version or Nintendo 64 version for stadiums, and it's just like, oh my god, my Pokemon in 3D, and there's like all this animation going on, looks awesome. And like right now, I think obviously we're not seeing those types of side games because you've literally just got like Sword and Shield, where it's basically those things.
Well, I mean, you say that, but I mean, we are kind of getting a new side game. The new Snap's coming out. They said it was coming out in April, wasn't it? April 20th or something?
Yeah, end of April, and like, it looks so good.
I never really got into Snap.
Did you not?
No, like, do you remember they had that Pokemon thing down at the Dome?
Yes.
Back in like, what was it? It was 2000, wasn't it?
Must have been 2000, yeah.
Like, I remember I went there, and that's where I played Stadium for the first time, and I played Snap as well, but I was way more into Stadium, because I remember distinctly I played it, and then I went home and immediately put that on my birthday Christmas list that year to get Stadium. But like, yeah, I just never really got into Snap. I never understood the hype. I'm like, I get it. It's cool. You can take pictures of your Pokemon, but at the same time, I'm like, I still don't understand why I'd want to do that.
I think, like, for me, because I never had a Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, I had a PlayStation. I never got Pokemon Snap until it was on the Wii. I got it.
Okay.
Like on the when they did the virtual console, and like I just enjoyed it so much. Then it's just like you just go around, you take your pictures of your Pokemon. Obviously, like the better angles, the more points you get. And it's like it was like kind of like collectathon as well. Like you want to fill your Pokedex with all these like pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah, but I mean, like I could do that normally. I'll just boot up my Game Boy and try and catch them all.
But it's capturing them through photos and
You
art.
mean stealing their souls?
It's the art.
You're stealing their souls and locking them in a tiny piece of paper.
I tell you what is as well. Like there's certain ways where you can only get like pictures of Pokemon like by doing like you throw an apple at Pikachu's head and he like falls backwards and it creates a series of events. And it's just like, oh my god, like Charizard's here now, and you're like, I've got to get the picture of the Charizard.
I've seen like videos of that. Like I've watched people play it, but I just again for whatever reason personally I just don't get it.
Yeah,
and I probably won't get the new one because I didn't get.
Okay.
I just didn't understand the first one to a certain extent. So like
it does feel like a strange concept. Like if you didn't get into it, like even people that don't know about Pokemon Snap originally, they might look at this and be like, yeah, it looks really cool in terms of graphics.
I mean, it looks beautiful. I will give them that. I wish Sword and Shield looked that good. All I'm saying is, right, I feel like the only way I'm going to get into it is if we can finally go, like, hang out with people again, right? You have it, and I sit and watch you play. But even then, I feel like I'm still gonna. I'll have fun watching you, and we'll mess around and we'll have a laugh. But at the end of the day, I still feel like I'd leave being like, I don't know why Pepe bought that game. Still don't quite understand it.
Like, that's fair enough, man.
I don't know why I can't connect with it, but I just can't. It's so weird, and I feel like I'm missing out because everybody. I feel like. From all the 90s kids, you're like Pokemon Snap, and everyone's like, yo, yes, and I'm like, what? What? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I can understand why people aren't like. Some people wouldn't be into it as much. Especially when you compare Stadium and that like side by side.
Stadium just felt that Stadium had more to do. That's all I'm saying. Like to me, that it just felt like Stadium had more to do. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Or I can take pictures of Pokemon, or I could be a Lickitung and I can eat sushi on a conveyor belt and have a Japanese man scream stuff that I don't understand because I'm a kid. I'm an adult now.
Wait, the game was in Japanese, right? When you
do you not remember in the mini? No. Everything was in English, but in the mini game, the voiceover, there's a Japanese voice and they're saying something. But I have no idea what it is. I still don't really know what they're saying. But yeah, it's a Japanese voiceover, and I distinctly remember being a little kid running around, eating the sushi as a Lickitung, and having this like voice going Onisa,
Oni-san, brother.
No, I obviously would know brother, but he's saying something. I just remember him like screaming like that. And then obviously Lickitung like eating something it didn't like and then running away from the conveyor belt going, Eee! Like I remember this. I remember it so clearly because I played it so much. Yeah, like if I had to pick between those two games, because I'm pretty sure they came out basically at the same time, I would have picked Stadium every time.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, on Nintendo 64 anyway, there's only like a handful of games when you look back at it. Like the library is good. The Nintendo library is brilliant.
It had a lot of games, but like there were definitely the ones that defined the platform.
Yeah, it's just there's only a handful of it when you compare them. There, it's weird when you look at it.
Well, yeah, because pretty much it's. I mean, that's like most system sellers, isn't it? Like if you don't, it's like if you don't have that game, why did you have that console? It's like if anyone had an N64 and it's like, did you have GoldenEye? No, then why'd you have it? You didn't play GoldenEye.
I bought a Nintendo 64 in 2008, and I can confirm that I actually never had GoldenEye on it.
Well, then why'd you have it?
Never.
There you go. There's that exact There's the exact conversation. Why'd you have it? Like that, I feel like if you say N64 to anyone, probably the first thing that's going to come up is GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's a whole other category we're getting onto now. But yeah, Pokemon for me deserves that number 4 spot. Like, it's there's loads in there. We can go on about Pokemon for hours.
Oh yeah, we could. It's a massive franchise. We didn't even talk about the main series, really.
We did. We just talked about side games.
But that just goes to show why it's on the list.
Okay. Just a quick one then. That's just so we do give the main game some love. What is your favorite gen
3.
out of the 3?
I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly the same. I'd say 3 as well. Like everything about it is just brilliant.
The one I played the most, I had, because I remember I got Sapphire and Ruby, when I went on a family trip, like family holiday, and I loved them, and I played the crap out of them. And then I get a little bit older, and one of the game shops had Emerald, and it was affordable at the time, and it had a box and everything, so I bought it, and then I spent a lot of time playing Emerald, and then obviously Alpha Ruby, or Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, sorry, Gen 3, bro.
It was so good. Like I think, like I was the same as you. Like for me, Ruby and Sapphire were just like so. Like I absolutely loved them as a kid. Just seeing those remade for the 3DS, they were absolutely beautiful. Like I love that. Like the music was so well on them as well. That's one of the staples for Gen 3 for me. Like the music, like that the trumpets, man. You can't beat those trumpets.
I genuinely think I enjoy Pokemon more nowadays, and it might be nostalgia, but like the main series when they do the remakes, I end up thinking of those more. Like I think Fire Red instead of like Red, because I guess they're the ones that I would have played most recently.
Yeah.
But I feel like I made a stronger connection to the mainline series the older I got, because I actually started understanding the game. Because as a kid, I've actually gone back to old cartridges, and like Pokemon Yellow, for example. And one of my Pokemon Yellows, I've got a disastrous team. I've got like 2 Flareons.
2.
A Blastoise.
Just because one wasn't enough.
Yeah, like
just needed the 2 of them.
I've got two Flareons, a Blastoise, a Pikachu, and probably like Pidgeotto or something. And I'm like, what is this?
Wait, not even the Pidgeot, just the Pidgeotto.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a really stupid random team, and I'm like, clearly a kid played this, like kid version of me at 5, like 4 or 5 years old played this, right? Because I'm like, me nowadays, that would not happen. But I feel like me nowadays is also why every now and again I feel like I drop off of Pokemon, because I turn it into work. It's not a game, because it's like, right, what's my team comp? What coverage am I doing? You know, like it becomes a whole different thing. Whereas I wish I could sort of go back somewhere in between being a mindless kid struggling to play the game because I didn't understand, and this like analytical adult that is like, I need to cover all my bases, like somewhere in the middle where I'm like, I'm thinking about team comp, but I'm just still having fun, you know. I'm like, whatever. It doesn't work anymore. I think I'm just over that hill.
I completely get that. Like as a kid, you just want to catch the cool Pokemon.
Yeah,
you just like, oh, that thing looks cool. I don't care what type it is. I'm just going to throw out against this random.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to throw out against the Elite Four. I'm not sure why it's dying. His Pokemon's dying quite quickly, but I'll use it anyway. And like, it's those sort of things. Like you just like, that was more of the challenge.
Elite Four, got to look out for my 2 Flareons.
Like you'd just pick your team of favorite Pokemon. You'd go out there, get destroyed. You wouldn't know why you get destroyed. I certainly didn't know type things in
type advantages. Oh my god, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
I was out there like throwing like Blastoises out against Venusaurs and stuff. They'd get absolutely bodied. And like, but that was the joy of it. It was a challenge. And right now, as you said, like you know the rules to it. You know what to do, and it probably doesn't have that.
I would hope we know the rules. we've been playing it since the 90s. Like,
Imagine if I didn't at this point. I'm still throwing out like water Pokemon out against all these grass things.
you would be the same as Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, one day I'll win a league.
Oh, who's got a dragon type? Go Pikachu! Oh, there's a ghost type. Go Pikachu!
That's great. Right, guys, that about wraps up for our number 4 pick, but make sure you like and subscribe to check out our numbers 3, 2, and 1 picks coming up soon. Or maybe they're out now. Who knows? Just click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Bye!